Hello, Trig 8.7. This one's not too bad. What's going on today is they are going to have something that is going to be tried to do repeatedly. They're going to tell you what your chance of success is if you only did it once, but they're going to ask you to do something over and over and over and over again. So they might tell you something like, we're going to do something 5 times. And there's a chance you might go 0 for 5, 1 for 5, 2 for 5, 3 for 5, 4 for 5, or in an ideal world, go 5 for 5. Maybe you're shooting foul shots. Maybe you're having flat tires. Maybe you're who knows what. They'll tell you a bunch of different stories that involve potentially success or failure. If they tell you the chance of success is 0.4, you will usually be on your own to figure out the chance of failure. To do the chance of failure, you need to do 1 minus the chance of success. So in this story, it would be a 0.6. If your chance of success is 0.4, your chance of failure is 0.6, 1 minus 0.4. I'll do one of these ones from the middle because it might make more sense. If I ask you to figure out the chance of 2 successes out of 5, what you would have to think through is that if you had 2 successes out of 5, it means you have 3 failures. You're having a success, and a success, and a failure, and a failure, and a failure. And by now in this chapter, you're probably picking up on my use of the word and to mean I would have to multiply things. But there's going to be a little more to it than that, but not much. But if we have 2 successes out of 5, we want to succeed, succeed, fail, fail, fail. So it would be sort of like this. Succeed is 0.4. Succeed again is 0.4. Fail, fail, fail is 0.6, 0.6, 0.6. We are going to want to multiply those numbers. But there's a twist to this today because they didn't say you had to go on trials 1 through 5, success, success, fail, fail, fail. They just said you had to have 2 successes. They don't have to be the first 2 tries. Your successes could maybe be the first and the third, or the last 2, or any 2. I don't have the patience or time to fill my board with all the possible positions that the successes could be in. If this were all the math we did, that would be the answer for a question that I said to you, we have to go succeed, succeed, fail, fail, fail in that order. Our actual probability of 2 successes is going to be much higher than that because the successes don't have to be the first 2, they could be any 2. So here's what's going on. If we're trying to do 2 successes, we would need to use the 0.4 from our success twice. We would also need to use the 0.6 from our failure 3 times, as described over there. 2 successes from 0.4, 3 failures for our 0.6s. But to take into account the fact that we could have these successes fall anywhere, we're going to do 5C2. The 5 because we're trying this 5 times, the 2 because 2 of them are supposed to be successful. And if you understand that one, the rest of them are going to just fall right in the line. So if I wanted to do the 3 success business, my 0.4 was my success number. If I'm doing 3 successes, it's to the 3rd power. And then my failures wouldn't be 3 anymore, it would be 2. I'd have 3 successes, 2 failures out of 5. My C for this would be 5C3. Everything's going to be 5C something, but I'm talking about 3 successes, so I'm using the 3. If I did 4 successes, it's 5C4. If I did 5 successes, it's 5C5. If I do 1 success, 5C1. If I do no successes, 5C0. They're all going to involve 0.4s. They're all going to involve 0.6s. It's just a question of how many. So on this problem, I want to have no success out of 5. Well then, no success, 5 for failure. If I had one success, four failure. If I had four successes, 4 versus 1. 5 successes, 5 versus 0. If you notice the numbers are counting and wonder if that will always happen, the answer is yes, as long as they do every choice. They're all 5C something because we tried it 5 times. And if they take us through a series of questions that go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the success probability that they gave you and go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Figure out the failure probability and go from the other direction up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 if you prefer. If you punch this one in, we could go 5, the C button 0, times 0.4, power button 0, times 0.6, power button 5. It should shoot you this. Once you do that, just do the second entry little button move and change your 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 5 to 4, and hit it. Second entry, change a couple numbers. Second entry, change, punch, 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 punch. Then there's 2 things you could do to decide if your answers are reasonable. One thing you could do, since we did every possible option, is to add these all up, and if you are correct, they will add up to 1. If you're incorrect, they will not. And then you'd have to figure out which one the outlier was. The other thing you could do is just think normal, like life kind of thoughts. If your chance of success is close to like 50-50 on something, you have a high chance of success, a high chance of failure, it's sort of balanced. If you were going to do something 5 times that was close to balanced, it's very unlikely you would go completely failure. It's very unlikely you would go complete success. The 2 numbers at the ends should be pretty low. The numbers in the middle should be likely. If it's like 60-40 that you're going to succeed or fail, and you're going to do something 5 times, you kind of expect like 2 or 3 to work out for you out of 5. You'd also expect, since your chance of failure was a little higher, the failure end of things would be a little more likely. This should beat this, because failure, this is the failure end. This had no success up here. This was total success. Since failure was a little more likely, this should beat this, this should beat this, this should beat this, but the stronger numbers toward the middle and the less likely numbers to the outside. The questions basically run that way. I'll do another one. So this is based, usually if people were here, we'd either pick one out of the book or we would generate a question spontaneously. So I'll just generate a question spontaneously. So in my life today, I have just recorded 8 videos, or will after I record the next video in a minute. And I will take those home and download them, or upload them. When I upload my videos, sometimes things get buggy. Sometimes it's YouTube's problem, sometimes it's my equipment, sometimes my computer just wears out, I don't know. But my chance of success uploading a video, I would say, is about 0.9. Most of my videos upload fine, but every once in a while I'm uploading a video, something just freezes up, it just dies. I'm going to have to go home and upload 8 videos. So I'm going to do things here out of 8. But I don't have the board space to do every choice. So my answers will not add to 1. These answers are not going to be in play anymore. Adding to 1 will not be in play anymore because I don't have the board space to go from 0 to 8. Clear out my powers. Okay, so here's the scheme. 8 videos to upload. If I'm going out of 8, every one of these C's starts with an 8. If I'm going to go no success, I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 0.4s just went out the window because I changed the game. My chance of a successful upload of my video are 0.9s. So the chance of failure on my video upload is a 0.1. So if I'm going to go successful 0 times, this is my success number. No success, 1 success, 2 success, 3, 4, 5. And if I had no success, that would mean 8 failures. 1 success means 7. 2 means 6. 3 is 5, 4 is 4, 5 is 3, and I just ran out of space to do the complete circuit. But we could punch these in. I would expect this to be very, 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 very low because my odds are tilted towards success, 90%. So to get no success out of 8, that's not going to happen to me, knock on wood, when I get home. This should be a very low number. The success numbers this time would be higher, but probably more tilted toward the high middle. I'm going to think 8 videos. My most likely outcome is probably 7 out of 8. So if I did the full punch in on these, if I'm hitting the 90% rate and I'm trying 8 of them, I would think 7 out of 8 is probably the most likely thing to happen to me, and I'll have to reboot my computer once or something. But that's the scheme of what you're doing. Some of the questions will run you through the full array of every answer. Others, they're just going to hand pick 1 or 2 or 3 of the answers. Like I remember for sure there's an 18-wheeler truck. And they ask you what's the chance of it having different amounts of flat tires on its 18 wheels. They do not take you through all 18 levels of that. They're not going to make you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 18 in this enormous thing. That would be cruel. Some of the questions, they will want you to come up with a few answers, and they might ask you stuff like, what's the chance that you have at least 1 of something? If you had to do at least 1 of these, the long way to do that, at least 1 would mean to add up all of those answers. That would be lengthy but correct. A quicker way to do at least 1 would be to go 1 minus the one you don't care about. Okay? At least 1, you can always do 1 minus the none. So they're going to try to bait you into adding up like a million answers when you don't have to. We can do that. At least 1 is still 1 minus this. If they said at least 2, I would not for at least 2 go from 2 to forever, adding up forever amount of things. I would just for at least 2 subtract both of these misfits at the 0 and 1 level, and maybe that'll speed you up on some of these. But homework we're after on this, there's a 258 that's going from 1 to 12. Let me see if there's anything on here. 12 is tricky. If you need some help on 12 someday, we'll zoom that in a session. 11. No, I don't think 11 looks different to me right now. 11 looks like a normal problem. The main one that's maybe different looking to me is 12. So, but anything you have trouble with, email me, we'll Zoom about it. See ya.